Awake, Free, and Ready community. Awaken your soul, free your mind, and get ready for what's next. Good day, my friends. Hope you're doing great. It is Friday, therefore it is Fearless Friday, and we are coming to you live at Awake, Free, and Ready. I'm Dwayne Klassen. How has your week been? What's been going on? And I trust that over the last few days, you've got your goals done. You've had some good days. Anyway, today I want to just kind of dive in and just talk about some of the stories that are out there and some of the craziness that's kind of going on in this world. And I want to just try a new format, if you will. Yeah, so on this day, there is this crazy realm in which we live in. And I know with the research that you've done, or the deep dives, or the rabbit holes that you've explored, there's no end. There's absolutely no end to the ridiculousness that is happening out there. And you've got to have a pretty strong constitution to be able to filter out what's going on and how it's being perpetuated in our media. Every day, I am literally shaking my head going, I can't believe they're putting this out there. Yet they are. Now, I get it. This is for the 90 percentile that truly believes that the media, the government, and all points in between are there for your greatest good. And they would never lie to you. They would never have a different agenda. But they do. And as an awake, free, and ready noble warrior that you are, there's a bit of a buffer between what's being put out there and the reality in which you live in. So I want to just kind of cover a couple of stories that are out there and the absolute stupidity that the media and the government actually think we reside in. Yeah, we actually are that stupid. That's what they think. Now, you might have heard of this story, and this is the one about the FBI raid that happened to Donald Trump in Mar-a-Lago. Yeah, so they raid his house, and they're looking for his documents, his papers, because he's got to have done something. You know, we're gonna dig in. We're gonna find it. We are going to find it. Now, here's how this story gets really, really ridiculous. Say, for example, you are a nefarious character. You might be maybe a spy or working for the government, or a double agent. If you were going to get rid of some documents that could incriminate you or make you a target, you knew the authorities were coming, how would you get rid of those said documents? Yeah, you'd probably shred them. You'd probably shred them, or you would throw them in a fire, throw them in a trash can, light it up, and away it goes. No. You know what the FBI said that Donald Trump did? Yeah, he flushed them down the toilet. Right, he flushed the documents down the toilet. Now, I don't know about you, but if you take a regular piece of paper and you crumple it up, how effective do you think the toilet is in getting rid of one piece of a piece of paper that we would write on? A typewriting sheet of paper. Now, imagine a folder. Like, how many pieces would have to go into a toilet in order for it to get rid of a document? Now, it doesn't matter if you're a Trump fan or not. Nobody on the planet is getting rid of secret documents via the toilet. It's just absurd that anyone would absolutely think that this is, oh my God, wow, there he is, they busted him. Well, how? How did they bust him? How did they know that they used the toilet for the escape hatch for all these documents? My friends, it's absolutely ludicrous as to where the media will go, because they actually believe that you will take this on hook, line, and sinker. Now, here's an interesting piece, is that the judge that okayed the raid on Mar-a-Lago is the same fella that was the counsel in the Epstein case. Right. And no one got caught. No one was persecuted in regards to what was in the names of the Lolita Airways. Yeah, no one got busted there. But it's interesting how he's the one that gave the FBI the authority to go and make the raid happen. Anyway, I digress. No one is flushing docs down the toilet. Nobody. But they want you to believe that. Now, here's another piece that I want to share with you. Now, we just talked, perhaps it's a little bit of conspiracy talk. And even the fact that I said the word conspiracy is now triggering all kinds of stuff going on in the algorithm. And the United Nations just announced that the United Nations is declaring war on conspiracy theorists. Right. It doesn't matter anymore now about all these other things that are going on. But if you are a conspiracy theorist, someone that actually looks for the truth, seeks the truth outside of the mainstream narrative, now they are basically making you a public enemy. And it gets really, really serious, especially when it comes to what they want to do. And they're calling these conspiracy theorists worrying and dangerous. And it's getting to a point where we have got to look at where this is going. What is the mandate? Where does it end? If the mainstream narrative is the end-all be-all. Now, what they're saying, I'm going to share this here with you. This is the United Nations declares war on dangerous conspiracy theories. The world is not secretly manipulated by the global elite. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get you to believe that any of these stories about the elite are unfounded. So I want to just read this to you. The United Nations has declared war on conspiracy theories, describing the rise of conspiracy thinking as worrisome, worrying, and dangerous, and providing the public with a toolkit to pre-bunk and debunk anybody who dares to suggest that the world governments are anything but complete, honest, upstanding, and transparent. And this is absolutely crazy. Look at this. The UN also warns that George Soros, the Rothschilds, and the State of Israel must not be linked to any alleged conspiracies. And UNESCO has teamed up with Twitter, the European Commission, and the World Jewish Congress to launch the campaign dubbed Think Before Sharing. Stop the spread of conspiracy theories. The UN wants you to know that the events not secretly manipulated behind the scenes by powerful forces with negative intent. And if you encounter anybody who thinks the global elite are conspiring to consolidate power and dictate global events, you must take action. It's unbelievable. And here's what they are doing. They're creating these memes to help people to identify what a conspiracy theorist or theory is all about and why they flourish. What are they? Things that are in common with the conspiracy theory. Why do they flourish? How do they take root? And why do people spread them? And finally, they've got countermeasures. Yeah, they're creating a meme that if you encounter a conspiracy theory or conspiracy theorist, don't engage them, on social media and whatnot. And here's the disturbing part is that if you see a conspiracy theorist or a conspiracy theory, contact your local National Press Council or ombudsman. Yeah. So they're really wanting to clamp down on anything to do with these conspiracy theories. It's absolutely crazy. And where this goes from here is we really don't know. Now, there was a couple of pieces that I wanted to share with you about Canada's dystopian ArriveCan app. This is the app that the Canadian people and anyone that wants to come to Canada, in fact, we're one of the only countries in the world that has this level of tyranny, that you have to prove whether or not you are vaccinated, unvaccinated, whatever your status is, and it's basically a tracking device. It follows you everywhere. Now, there was a series of government contracts that were put out to create this app, and I was given some information about one such contractor and the details that went into that this company never really existed before, and they only have 4 employees, and the Google search of their office is a cabin in the woods by the lake, and they were awarded a $14 million contract with a non-compete clause. Yeah, they were the only ones granted this contract. Now, I wanted to share all the details with you, but I can't find it anymore. It is gone. I've done several searches, tried to get really granular with that search, and I can't find it anywhere. And this is very common, and I'm sure that you are seeing a lot of this too. As you start going down certain rabbit holes, you have to be very, very clear on your searches, or else nothing will show up. A lot of videos that were getting hundreds of thousands of views, if not into the millions, are no longer found in the search engines. They're still there, but they're buried very, very deep. And this is very common on Google, YouTube, Bing, and other search engines. So it's already starting in regards to how data is curated for the curious. It really doesn't exist out there anymore. They want to keep you in your echo chamber. And anyone that is possibly waking up to the truth, unless a fellow noble warrior that's awake and aware is sharing this, they're not going to find it on their own. They'll Google search it. Well, I'm going to see if I can prove this. What you're saying, I don't know, doesn't make sense. So they'll Google search it, and of course they won't find anything. And what they will find is everything that supports the current narrative. So it's easy to be able to go, well, you're just crazy. There's no way that they could possibly be some mandate to make humanity suffer or deal with the consequences of the global reset. Yeah. So anyway, we just fearlessly keep putting out the information. It is so important that we do, and that we do not cower to the system. Now, I want to share something fascinating with you. And we're all familiar with weather modification, and we've seen it in our own backyard. Perhaps you've been witness to a crazy storm that just came out of the blue, or a huge amount of rain, wind, out of nothing. You know, a beautiful day, and all of a sudden a storm comes in, and boom, there's a flood. Or if it might be snow, it might be drought. Whatever the situation, you have witnessed some pretty crazy weather events. Now, I want to show you a microburst, a series of microbursts. Now, a microburst is where the clouds come in and an ungodly amount of rain comes from these microbursts. And you have to admit that over the years, when you were a child, the storms came in and they just looked like dark clouds. They didn't look ominous. They didn't look like massive spaceships. They didn't look like these freak shows that the storms are today. Yeah. So I want to share this quick video with you of these weather events. I want you to dial in to just how bizarre these storms really are. Check this out. In this video, check this line. Notice how the rain looks like it's coming out of portals. Look again. As the storm comes in, it just dumps in these huge columns of rain to the point where it's creating a shock wave. Look again. Here's one from Arizona, and this is quite startling. The rain's coming, and then all of a sudden, boom! There's so much force. Now I get it, this film is sped up, but look at this. The rain comes in such a massive volume that it actually creates a shock wave. And these are microbursts. They come out of nowhere, and it is an absolute flood rain. Truly amazing. And with the technology of today, we're able to see what we normally would not see. Now here's one in Austria. This is truly incredible. Look at the spout. Look how it just seems to rip right out of the sky. I'm going to show you again. Imagine a bladder. Then you had a knife and it was above your head and you cut it. Watch this. Check that out. Just boom. A column of water. Right. This is crazy weather. I wanted to share that with you because it's happening all over the world. They're able to manipulate these microbursts everywhere. If you're familiar with the BC floods that happened in November of last year, that was from an atmospheric river. Even in the weather reports, the meteorologists, they didn't see it coming. They were showing real-time radar, and they're going, wow, it just came out of nowhere. We didn't even see this on our radar, the Doppler, and it just came in and it dumped 200 to 300, sometimes 400 millimeters of rain. That's a crazy amount of rain, but yet it was dumped in that area in British Columbia, southern part of British Columbia. In fact, I think there was 4 major highways that literally cut off Vancouver from the rest of Canada and just destroyed so much infrastructure. And I believe these are tests, and you're seeing it all over the world, these microbursts. And we're not seeing what the rest of the world is going through. They don't want you to know what they're doing and how they're manipulating the weather. But I just wanted to share that with you because, man, there's some crazy stuff that's happening right now. Now, I could go into a number of different crazy stories, but I want to end today's show on a positive. I want to get to a place where you understand that no matter how crazy it is out there, that all that gong show, that's not for you. That's all designed for the masses. It's all designed to keep them in a stupefied slumber. And they know that they can get away with it on every media channel. They literally have to tell you what's going on. It's part of the Luciferian cult. When you're in that cult, you have to tell them what you're going to do. And they do it in such a way where it is almost like hiding in plain sight. They tell you what is going to happen. It might be in a movie. It might be in a sitcom. It might be just plain outrageous. Here it is. It's a press conference. And oh yeah, we're doing this. But most people will filter it. They just won't see it because they're so hypnotized by the system that they just, all right, yeah, I know they told me what they're doing, but I'm just going to eat my Doritos and continue to watch. And they're hoping for that. But as the noble warrior you are, it doesn't filter in. You are able to discern fact from fiction. You are able to discern the ridiculousness that's going on, almost to the point where you are laughing at the silliness that I can't believe people are buying into this, but yet they are. And so many people are fighting for their limitations. That's how deep the trance goes. And right now, they're really starting to amp up in many areas about, the next wave of boosters. And the reason to get it is people still believe wholeheartedly, even after 2.5 years of this gong show, that it's very, very real. Even though the statistics now say that unknown causes of sudden death is the number one cause of death. And no one's batting an eye at it. Yeah, people just falling from a heart attack, even though they're in incredible shape. But no one's batting an eye. And they're not going to blame it on the thing. But it's happening, and it will continue to ratchet up. We're going to see more and more of that. And this is why you are seeing the damage control mechanism put in place, trying to normalize what's going on. They're trying to normalize these deaths. They're trying to normalize strokes in children. They're trying to normalize that if you're a healthy person and you fall over from a massive heart attack, that's just a part of life. It's always been a part of life. That's just how it is. But you are an incredible spirit, you're an incredible soul, and you are here to endure what's going on out there. And my hat's off to you for how you are able to discern the facts from the fiction and how you are not being led down the path that the narrative, the system wants you to go down. And understanding that you are the power. This is it. Your sovereign power. You are a child of the Most High. You are here for greatness. You truly are. Even when the world looks like, your personal world looks like it's all crumbling, falling apart, and you feel isolated and alone, you're not alone. You are truly amongst your friends. You are amongst greatness yourself. And it's a time that's calling you to find your voice, even when it looks like having that voice is scary. I'm putting myself out there, and I get that, but this is my calling. And you have a calling to express what's going on in your world, how you feel. Be in your truth and never be afraid of that truth, because your truth is what sets you free. You've got this. You truly do. And here at Awake, Free and Ready, we've got your back. So that's what I've got for you today. I hope this was of value. I really appreciate that you joined me here on Awake, Free and Ready on our Facebook group. And if you haven't joined us on our Facebook group, please go there. And of course, subscribe on our YouTube channel. We are rapidly growing, making waves, and inspiring so many people to wake up, dig into what an awakened soul is all about, freeing their mind and getting ready for what's next. All the best. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Thank you for joining me here, and enjoy the rest of your day. And be fearless on this Fearless Friday. Take care.